Hello everyone, this is your host Maurice in DROD RPG, and with me today is Kieran.
Hi there.
And he's going to help me understand and play DROD RPG, or maybe it will turn out that I just suck at this game so much that he'll have to take over completely.
Nah, you'll end up beating it yourself without needing any help at all, I'm sure.
I will just have to wait for you to post new episodes of your optimizing DROD RPG. So yeah, this video assumes you know DROD RPG, so if you don't know the game, you will lose. You won't get all of the story because we're going to skip everything. And the format of this video is going to be: imagine that I'm this guy who never played DROD RPG or just played it for 5 minutes and has extreme problems with the game, and you are, Kieran, you are this friend of this guy who has these problems, and you want to help him play through the game, but don't want to outright spoil the solutions, basically. Yeah. Something along this line. Like, we haven't exactly decided how to proceed with this. The whole thing. Maybe let's not kill everything as soon as I see it. Yeah. Basically, the idea that I had was that once I saw Kieran's optimizing DROD RPG videos, the first two, I thought, wow, things start to make sense. But then I just opened Tendry's Tale, started playing the whole, and was like, okay, I still don't understand those things. So I figured out I can ask Kieran to help me, and maybe something interesting will come out of it. I don't know. Okay, so maybe let's get to the point.
If anybody else needs my help, I'm sure I can charge for services.
Yeah, but you know, I'm the idea giver, so 20% for me. So yeah, of course we have to proceed somehow, so we need a yellow key. I remember from your videos that in the first half of the DROD RPG in Tendry Style you don't need to worry about picking up health because there are no percentage damages. There's no percentage damage.
Well, in the first half of
Yes.
the first half, so at some point you will start getting pretty big HP numbers, and you should probably stop. Then,
Okay, so just tell me when to start looking out for those things. So yeah, we're picking the key. We're also picking the key. We're not killing this wraith thing because we can get back here later when the wraith thing is free to kill. Right? Yeah. I have to kill both of them. Probably the beginning is not going to be very interesting, so maybe I'll just try to go as quickly as possible. Get it done.
I mean, this being a bit, as long as you're actually hitting monsters with the sword and not your body, you're generally okay. I've seen like first look the plays where they don't realise they can turn their sword and they actually die during this gauntlet and don't know what's going on. So.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess especially if you play with the mouse, it's not very obvious that you may have some more options of movement.
Well, I think it lets you use the up, down, left and right arrow keys, so I think that's what tends to trip people up as well.
Okay, we are going this way. So I guess this is the first decision we are really making that is impactful, because we can decide to take the attack gem, but maybe we first need to see what's ahead.
Yep. I mean, you've seen my video. I'm sure you know the answer, but yeah.
If you think I remember much of anything of them, but you're probably wrong.
That's good. Yep, save a lot. So
yeah. So let's make a quick scouting run.
I mean, I've played some holds where literally I save after every single decision I make. Like, I just spam the save.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And then you really need those saves, or just
sometimes?
Just in case?
Yeah, sometimes it depends. Like, some of them are very easy, but some are actually really hard. Like, if I was doing the first RPG Anonymous, like, I just save constantly and I still can't beat it. So.
I see. So I'm wondering, in your videos you said that you don't have to worry about Greckles and Greckle gates in the first half of Tendry's Tale, but this is like external knowledge, right? You don't know this when you're playing the game for the first time or until you finish the first half.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, as a general rule here, swapping 10 Greckles for an attack gem when you've already got like 18, and it's like one of your first Greckle doors, is generally a pretty good trade. Like, you could technically not open it until you think you need it, but you know, like, you know, you're not going to hurt yourself doing that now. That is the right move to make.
Okay. But other than that, it's basically... So, you need to know how much value whatever is behind the Greckle gate has. Like, you need to know how much Greckles are worth, basically, right? And it changes hold by hold, really.
Yes, it does. I mean, every hold chooses how to deal with money in its own way. Some of them, of course, don't use money at all. So, but that is something, to some extent in RPG, you do have to like play it, gain a bit of knowledge, and then come back if you're going to do it well.
So I've been wondering, did we pass the threshold for Wraithwing after picking up this attack gem?
I think we did, yes, because when you're down to only hitting you once, like it does here, you will notice that the attack to faster win will be exactly equal to half of its HP. So I think it would have had plus 17. Maybe we haven't just passed it. Maybe we passed it before. Yes, the previous Wraithwing was at plus 1.
Okay.
Attack 2.
Alright, so right now there's nothing else to do, just to kill the roach. And you had some very interesting suggestion in your video about not killing the evil eye, which I think is the instinct for... Like, it makes sense to kill this monster right here, right now, because every time you pass in front of the evil eye, you will take damage, right? But
yeah, and if you were going to kill it now, obviously you'd go back and collect that other attack gem and maybe save yourself an extra hit here, because you'd take 28 from the Wraithwing, but you'd save 22. I mean, in this case, it's because money isn't very useful. You don't need to kill it, which is hold-specific knowledge. But also, as you can see, all there is beyond this eye is a health potion and a green key, so like, it doesn't matter. Also, because it's a fairly weak enemy, as soon as you pick up that second shield, it won't do any damage to you at all. So if you do want the money, you can just come back later in that game.
I see. So, but generally, I feel, at least when I played the game, it was always the feeling that taking damage without killing the monster at the same time was always the bad decision, which is something I probably will have to unlearn.
Yes, in a lot of holds where I've seen people use evil eyes like this, frequently taking damage is actually the better option than killing the eye, because people like to tend to hide like stat gems behind it, and then you can pick up some easy attack or defense early on, and sort of like the stats don't matter, because if you're just taking damage from the eye, like your attack stat is completely irrelevant, so you can like grab it straight.
I see.
Oops, my screen turned off then.
Alright then, so we have opened the way back to the first rule. I don't think we want to go there yet, like the next checkpoint for Wraithwing is 16 attack.
Yeah. I mean, generally, as long as you make like a save before you pass over a force arrow that you can't come straight back from like now, you know, you've always got the chance to come back later if you see that you need an extra point of attack.
Do you remember where you get the you get the map here? Okay.
Yeah.
How does the game remember the map? Okay, so if I ever
I believe.
Yeah. Okay,
so if you had, I would have thought it would have automatically opened some of them. Even
I'm just going to get the rooms remembered. Basically, that's what I'm doing right now.
Like what you need to do is run through and then just save the game.
I don't think I had to save the game.
If you've done it on this playthrough, no. But if you've done it on a previous playthrough, you need to have actually saved the game after exploring the rooms.
And let's get a couple of... Yes, Tendry, yes, of course. Okay, and load. Okay, So basically, what you were saying before I interrupted you with my exploration was that force save before making decisions that disallow you from backtracking, basically.
Yeah,
Because
I mean, you don't see it very often in most other holds. People don't tend to put backtracking issues tend to be like level specific. Like they would only drop it at the end of the level.
I see. Alright, so we can just explore a very little bit. I guess the only choice we have right now is to kill the Roach Queen.
Yeah, you must kill it to progress here. But before you kill a monster, always worth checking your stats. Because one of the most important things you're doing is really seeing whether or not, like where its checkpoints come from, and whether it's something that you can, like in the short term, reduce the damage you take, or if it's like the Wraith Wings at the moment where it's going to take forever to like actually reduce damage. Like it's always worth. I hammer this battle key. I open it up constantly.
Yeah, I think if you counted the time, it would be like at least half of the time of your video looking at the either looking around the map or just at the screen. So yeah, what you're saying is that this is +1 attack for faster win. So if we had any good source of attack gem, like the Wraithing on the previous level, we could collect it, but it would save us only 32 health, and killing Wraithing is 80? Was it?
No, you want to double check in this room.
It's 28. Oh.
Yeah, so it
28.
is actually immediately cheaper. Of course, another thing about this level is that there is a second Roach Queen in front of the green key as well. I mean, you do have other chances to collect attack in this level, but you know, sometimes it's not just you're gaining benefit from one monster, you're actually saving on multiple in a row, like the same type of monster, so it actually can add up in that case. But here, it is actually that the Wraithwing is so cheap to kill that you immediately regain the health back straight away. So
okay, so it was a mistake to cross the arrows. That's why you told me to save.
Yes.
Oh, you.
So as it turns out, in this case, you could actually have picked up this attack immediately as soon as you came across it. Obviously, you weren't to know that.
And it's very important to not take the force arrow here.
Yes.
Unless, of course, we have cleared everything. No, because there is the secret at the end.
Yes, there is. Yeah, you spoiled it already, but that's fine.
But, you know, we told everyone.
I've not played this before. Yeah.
I never got the secret, but I know about the whole puzzle with accessories and things like that. Just yeah, the only time I have managed to finish the first half of the, and also maybe I should just in case make another save.
Yep.
Okay, so there's literally nothing we can do to reduce the damage we'll take from the Roach Queen right now.
Yes, that's right.
Because we have collected. Yeah. Yes. So let's kill her. And things start getting interesting here because we get multiple choices. Like we can go across, we can go kill those roaches. So when you're tackling a new hold, I presume you approach it like you set up some kind of far ahead goal. Like in this case, would be crossing to the next level, and then work backwards from it to see what you can do.
Yeah, pretty much. So a lot of the times, so I'd say that there's two types of way that RPG level sets tend to gate their progress, or the way that they're structured. Some of them are what I like to call shopping aisle holds. So they they give you an area that is completely open, but then there is like a boss or a blue door is the only thing in your way, and you're just presented with a whole series of choices. And in that case, it's usually you're looking at how can I pick up stats or the right keys as quickly as possible. You know, there's a bunch of mini goals that you work towards, but then you get ones more like this where actually your progress is physically you're moving through rooms and trying to get somewhere. So, you know, there's no equipment on this. There's no immediate equipment. Ooh, or is there? Yeah, no.
There's one in this room which we know about.
Yes, but I shouldn't have said that. No, but yeah, in this case, you know, you might look at that and say, the blue door leads me to the stairs. Okay, where's the blue key? And then you will be like trying to work your way from there. You know, and that's your goal. So
so yeah, we have a blue key here, so what we need is a green key.
Yep, so...
And a green key is somewhere here, maybe. And there it is.
And there it is, yep.
So we can pretty much immediately go there, because all we have to do is just cross this yellow door.
So in this case, you know, looking towards the blue door, you know, what would you know that you've got to come this way first, but, you know, is it worth heading over towards the blue door first? Well, the only thing you've got over there, as you can see, is a yellow key and like an attack gem. I think that's the only thing you're really being blocked, you know, blocking yourself in. So it's you know, then it's a question of, well, do I need to pick them up now, or should I just make a beeline for my most important goals first? Which is usually stats as well.
I would just take a moment to explore to the room to the south of here, so that we can access it from the map. Okay. So, by the way, there is a shield here, and in your video you didn't pick up this shield because a better one is accessible very quickly on the next floor. So, is there ever a scenario where this shield is optimal?
In this particular case, no. I mean, the only way it could possibly be optimal is if the actual health savings that you get between picking up that shield and the other one are absolutely critical, and you couldn't possibly win the hold without them. That's not the case here. It is unusual in that you have two shields within the one score point. Like you almost never see that in this case, and it's just the way that the shields replace each other completely means that you're not getting the point bonus for the defense of the shield, and the fact that they come so quickly as well. You know, the blue key is much more valuable than the getting hit. Like, what would it be? It would be something like 20 times to save 10 points per hit between them. You know, that's only going to be like 200 health. Like, it's one large health potion. You wouldn't spend a blue key for a large health potion.
Right, I see. Okay, I only halfway understand what you're saying, but it's slowly making way through my brain.
So this is very unusual, though. Like this particular question here, like I've never seen any other hold where not grabbing the shield wouldn't be absolutely your number one priority in this level. You know.
Okay, but so to ask a different question, does taking this shield here block you from progressing somewhere? No, I think because I think I have taken this shield when I played the game. And I've managed to complete the first half of this hold, so...
Yes, you can win the game by taking that shield, and almost everybody will do it on their first playthrough, or like a couple of playthroughs, but not taking it, and the value of the blue key over the course of the hold is going to be worth probably in the realm of a couple of thousand hit points, thousands of hit points, you know, multiple thousands of hit points you save by not taking that shield.
So I understand, so basically we can take this blue key and spend it here to save, let's say, 200 HP, or 500 HP, or we could use this blue key to make a shortcut somewhere else, somewhere further in the game where everything has bigger numbers, basically. And then it would save us much more because it would be the same blue key, just used in a different place.
They're all used the same. So what it is that if you've got a spare blue key going forward, the pressure is reduced in how long you need to spend to pick up the next blue key. Like if you've got a spare, you can wait to pick up the blue key the next time you need one, and usually that means that you can end up picking up more stats before you have to go back and collect a blue key. So you're making health savings at almost every single future spot where you need a blue key.
I see.
No.
Wow.
Yeah, but it's a very rare, extremely long payoff, massive bonus by not picking up that shield, because the key... This is one of those holds that a lot of people do where the blue key is actually used solely as a progress gate rather than just another layer of key. You must collect them, and they're required to progress. It's very rare you don't see that, actually, for blues in particular. Right.
Okay, so maybe let's try making some progress right now.
Yes.
So uncovering this room has taught us that we have another blue key that we could take to get there, but the cost of going through the spider is 168 HP, which is probably going to be much more expensive than the 64 from the Roach Queen.
Yeah, I mean, there is the possibility here that what you do is you take the blue key behind the spider and you actually save the green key that you would get from the Roach Queen, and you don't spend it for now on the other blue key. But in this particular hold, there are not very many green doors in the way at the moment, and you're not. Green keys are not a huge limit at the moment.
So how do you ever make when you're playing a new hold? How do you ever make a decision? Because there's so many, you can never know if the blue key is worth more than the green key, or if this item is not going to be a bad option.
It's a good general rule that the blue keys are more valuable than the green, and spending one green key for a blue key is usually a good trade. I mean, it's easy to construct a hold where that is not the case.
Right.
But, sticking with those general principles will usually get you far enough, at least until you figure out that that's not the case.
See.
And then it's just a case of going back and swapping what you did.
I see. Oops. So, yeah, okay, I understand. So, it basically makes sense to trust those basic premises set up by the basic guidelines for the value of items, which are decided by these cores, right? So in this case, swapping a green key for a blue key is a good trade, and also the green key is much cheaper to get. So it's like two trades that are generally, under a general rule, are quite good. So that would always be my default position in this case. Okay, so what I'm looking at right now is the next threshold for the Roach Queen is 8 attack, and I presume there aren't enough attack gems on this level.
I think there's only 3 more.
Yeah. So going for the Roach Queen as quickly as possible is basically optimal. Now the question is whether to go through here or go through here, and it seems this option is the better one, because we of course will be blocked by the force arrows, but then we get the yellow key to open this door immediately, basically. And or actually, is there any difference between those two? Because if I go through here, yes, there is. Because if I'm here, I will need a way to go back to the lower half. Let's say the lower part.
If you're going to spend 2 yellow keys, you may consider you're better off not stepping over the force arrows and opening the yellow key in the room to the west and avoiding that Wraithwing. However, you do need a second yellow key to do that, and your only other spare yellow key at the moment is hiding behind a Wraithwing in the first level. Or no, sorry, there's a Roach in that other room.
Yes.
So if you were going to open 2 yellow doors, you would actually open this bottom one.
Yeah, but we probably don't want to kill the Roach right now, because it's only 2 attack gems from giving us less damage. Right.
It's true. You would save 10 HP, and maybe you would get to save 20 HP from the Wraithwing later. So
yeah.
But they're both fairly small numbers, and basically at this stage, neither of those decisions are going to leave you in an unwinnable situation. But if you're going for the top score, you do have to try and assess that.
Okay, so I'll be taking this direction then, this route.
Yeah. And not opening that bottom door in the other room is only good here because you actually have the other way out via the secret room.
It's very secret.
Yeah. Well, you can't normally do that in regular DROD, running to the edge of a room and then coming back as well with a platform. It's
true,
slightly different.
Yes. But you know about this room, so it's because you have, first of all, you have the passageway here, and of course this very inviting corridor here. So
it's just very poorly hidden, but yeah.
The RDDA didn't do a good job this time. Okay, since Grackles are mostly unimportant. I presume 10 Greckles for 50 HP is a good
Well, if
trade.
you don't know they're unimportant and you know you don't need that health right now, you just simply wouldn't do it.
Yeah. Of course, later I will want this blue key, so 10 Greckles for blue key is unlikely to be a bad trade.
Oh yeah, it's very good.
So, okay, the Evil Eye. +4 attack for faster wins, we can't get that. So we could take this route, or we could decide to go... I can't use the minimap, okay. Or we could decide to go this way, right? And we would arrive at the same destination, basically.
Yeah.
Of course, then we wouldn't be able to get this attack gem. But... So, it's another situation where there are multiple options to do the same thing.
Yeah. Well, if you try to escape out of this little area that you're in after you cross the Force Arrows by going up the top, you've got to attack a mud baby or open another yellow door. Like, so either way, you're either opening a yellow door or killing a baby. But killing the Evil Eye is also very cheap, but it also gets you an attack gem. So, you know, you do want to go that way anyway. So.
And we want that attack gem because of the roaches.
Yes.
But then, let's take a look further. Okay, so let's assume we don't have to assume. I can just learn how to use keyboard. I can save and just do an exploration run, and we want this key. Let's say we did this, right? And we basically have access to the same area as with that situation, because in theory we could continue with this hold and come back to kill that Evil Eye when it's free, right? And the Evil Eye right now is 66 HP.
But what you have essentially done is, in order to save up to 66 HP, you've spent a yellow key that you didn't have to. And yellow keys, I would say, like 66 HP is not a lot, and you can generally earn that back very quickly. Like yellow keys, do you think a yellow key is worth 66 HP right now? Would you use it to pick up a small and a medium health potion? You know, that's what you're...
And also the fact that keys in general, the further you are in the game, their value increases, right? Because
so in reality, monsters get less expensive the further you go, but keys get more expensive the more of them you spend. So every time you open a door, you are effectively making that key more expensive for the next door.
Right.
Is sort of how to think about it.
So a good rule of thumb is basically, if the HP cost is not
as a general rule, people tend to play in that a yellow key is worth about 400 HP because that's how the score works. But in reality, that'll be defined by the hold. They don't have to stick to that rule. Right. But a lot of holds do. So, you know, like, you can probably figure out by how much health has been made available if you think 66 HP is a good key, you know, yellow key trade. And I would say right now, given how much health you've seen lying around, you know, it doesn't seem very good right now.
Did I see any health lying around? Because I just...
well, there's a 50 HP over there, you know, there's a big large potion over there, you know. Right. There's a large potion there.
So it's 200, right. Is it 200, the large one?
Yes, it is.
But it's the medium one, not the large one, okay. This is the large one.
Oh yeah, there's a large one, yeah. So it's 1550 and 200. Right.
Okay. You've convinced me. I'm going to kill this Evil Eye.
Yeah. And of course, the attack, as a general rule, the stats are a really important focus. Like, because they make killing monsters cheaper, you generally want the stats as soon as you can. But as you saw through my video, sometimes you do put them off till later if it doesn't matter. But it's still quite important, you know. Like, it's always worth considering. You've really got to think to actually not get stats as soon as possible.
I see. I'm still trying to wrap my head around why did you have to kill those 3 goblins first on that last video, but probably
we can explain a bit more when we get there.
Yes, so, right, exactly. So I have to get back for the green key. I just noticed. And also another important thing is that now that I have crossed this pit here, I really should avoid going across these arrows, because then I'll be basically not stuck, but I will be forced to kill the tar baby.
Mud baby.
Mud baby, right.
Cross them again.
So let's get the green key.
Even the weakling.
And the roaches costs 10 HP right now. It gives me a yellow key, but I do not need the yellow key right now, so there's no point in killing it right now.
Yep. It's worth keeping in mind because it's very cheap, but you shouldn't pick up a key until you actually want to spend it.
Okay, so there isn't anything else interesting we want to do here. Other than, of course, those two keys, which we for now are going to delay picking up.
All you have right here, there's no stats and there's only keys to pick up, and you don't need them right now, so you may as well.
Okay, so I could open this green door right now, but let's first take a look if there are any other green doors in this level. Does it sound like a good idea?
Yeah, I mean, the only thing beyond that green door is health and a blue key, so you can always come back to it when you know you absolutely need it.
Yeah, but right now this is the only thing blocking us from, not the only thing, but the only big thing blocking us from exiting this level. So that's what we have to do. There's nothing else to spend this green key on anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, and of course there's no point in killing the spider, because we would kill the spider for 168 HP, get 50 HP back, and we would skip 30 HP damage from these 3 roaches, so it makes no sense. I keep hitting escape too many times. Yeah. Oh, sorry, not 3, but 5 roaches. 5, right, yeah, that's true. So it's still cheaper to go for the roach in this case. Yes. Because we can, if we need the oracles and reputation, we can go back here once the spider is free.
Yep.
And the potion is such a small value that it's probably not going to be important ever.
Yeah, I will say, technically, before you just stab the roaches, the question should always be what's beyond the roaches that you want right now, because you've got the map revealed, you know what's over there.
Yes, and my goal is here, right? That's true.
Yeah.
So what's beyond the roaches? What we have is potion, yellow key, an attack gem, and another potion with a roach in front of it.
And do you know if the attack is needed now? I mean, how much is it going to be to reduce? You mean you might? Do you think you might get a shield before you need to kill these guys? Or I don't think you're going to get 22 attack, but there is always the possibility that you can make these cheaper still.
So right now, since our goal is to go go to the next level, let's leave those roaches alive. A potion. Okay. Okay, do you always clear all of the mud here, or is it just me?
I used to, but over time, I've played this so many times, I've just stopped doing it,
Right, okay, so we have a spider here. So, we could go kill those roaches, and that would save us 42 HP. And actually, I'm going to just do a quick exploration run just to unlock some more rooms, so that I know what's going on ahead.
Good idea.
Okay.
In case you...
I don't have a yellow key, alright. No, Tendry, we don't care. Okay, I managed to survive, nice.
You can...
Only 750. That's not that much.
No, it is quite a lot, but yes, considering what we will end up killing them for if we kill them at all.
Yes. Exploration. Which rooms did I miss?
Over on this side, nothing. But
Okay, so let's load. And let's try exploring in a different direction.
In case you weren't.
If I remember correctly, this feature that the rooms are saved was added pretty late in the...
yes, it was. These are similarly the way to scroll between rooms when you are viewing, and also the ability to hit the battle key when you're remotely viewing. Those are all fairly new. Also, and this one is the most important, where it says how many attacks for faster win, that was not there for most of the time RPG has been out. Like that is without a doubt the single #1 best.
Right,
like,
because
addition that Mike has
without
made.
it you either had to do the math in your head or have this Excel
You needed the
spreadsheet.
spreadsheet,
Yes.
which was a pain. Like,
Alright, so we have explored a little bit and actually have been recording for 36 minutes, so maybe it's a good idea to take a stop here.
sure, yeah.
Or maybe just the spider. Let's discuss the spider. So it's one attack for faster win. We have one attack hidden behind 3 roaches and I think a wraithwing.
Yes, that's correct.
So that's a total of 58 HP. And killing the spider would save us.
It's 50 HP, and it's also a yellow key, because there's actually a yellow key in the way of the attack gem as well. Or a yellow door, sorry.
Right. Okay. So, but then, so if we decide to pick up this attack gem, we pay 58 HP.
50.
52?
Yes, that's right. Sorry, no,
58.
yeah, it was 58. Yeah.
So 58. Okay. And then at this moment we save 42. So we are 16 HP behind. Let's call it like that. And the question is.
So another thing here that you see is that there is another 2 attack gem right there.
And it would make Evil Eyes cheaper.
Yeah, but it only makes them cheaper if you've picked up that 1 attack as well.
Yes.
So if you're going to rush for that, you then do also get a saving on an Evil Eye attack, at which point you've made up the deficit.
Yes.
Because that extra 22.
So if I decide
that's
to
the
go
route,
either this or this direction, it would save me some HP. I mean, it would be a benefit going for that attack gem.
Yeah. And because there's that one-way force arrow that you're crossing over, you can't actually come back for a while. So that's another... at that point, even if you could, you would still rather take the saving from the spider as well, because the roaches and the wraithwing weren't going to have been made cheaper by the time you pick up that attack gem.
Right. And there are even some more spiders, although those spiders don't matter because we already will have taken at least 2 attack gems.
Yeah, that's it.
But yeah, so it seems that, of course, there's also another option that instead of going in this direction, either of these directions, we go here. In which case, we would probably get a little bit stuck. No.
Well, here's where keys matter. So you would have to kill. There are 2 yellow keys behind roaches. In fact, if you go for that attack gem, there are 3 yellow keys, each hiding behind a single roach. So they are like 10 HP to open those doors, which is not that expensive, but it is still something that you don't have to hand. Yeah. And is potentially 10 HP you could save later once you pick up the shield.
Yeah. And of course, I'm forgetting one important thing, is that what is our goal right now, and our overarching goal is picking up this shield, right? Because it's going to give us...
because you missed the wooden shield, you really want some defense as soon as possible.
Yes, and the reason we want this shield is because defense gems basically are... Every single point of defense is saves you some health on every monster, basically. Of course, not talking about monsters which you kill in a single hit.
Yeah, I mean, if it was a free kill anyway, you weren't getting any damage, but they save you HP every time you get hit, which is sometimes multiple times. So actually, you know, defense, it starts mattering straight away. Defense, when it's only like a single worth 1 defense gem, it can something that you could potentially leave for a while. But when it's like 30 defense all at one shot, that is outrageously huge. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
I wish there was a way to check the stats of the items when using the browse.
True. Yeah, you can't right click them. You just have to know that there is 30 defense. Yeah.
Right. So of course, going back to my decision paralysis, is there is no point in going to the left of here. Not to mention because going to the left would get us stuck. Going upwards could make sense, because going upwards and through these corridors we could access the shield, but just looking at the number of monsters across the way and doors, it just even without seeing your video, it just seems like a bad idea from the get-go.
Yeah, so those 2 spiders over there, I think they're hitting you twice currently if you open it. No, they're hitting you 4 times, potentially 3 times. So that is 90 HP each. What if you kill them before you get the shield? You know, that's quite a lot.
Right.
You know? Right.
So this way is not optimal. This is not the direction we'll be going. This is not the direction we'll be going. This one is not the direction we'll be going. So now it's the decision between those 2, which you covered in your video, and so for some reason you decided to go through this way.
Yes. So the reason for that, if you didn't understand, if you go to look at where the shield is, if you scroll over there, you'll notice that right in front of the shield there's 2 mud babies. Right. And now if you scroll southwards, there's actually 3 mud babies and an antlion that you must kill to make your way to the shield. In fact, if you scroll to the west, there's also a spider, so there's quite a lot of monsters that you must kill to get there. And they're all quite high hitters, 42 damage, 50 damage per hit. You know, that's... If you can reduce that, you're saving quite a lot. Like if you hit that attack checkpoint there that says 4 attack for faster win, you're not saving 50 HP, you're saving 150 because there are 3 mud babies in the way.
Right.
So actually, when you consider that most of the monsters like the Wraithwings and the Evil Eyes are hitting you for like 20 or 80 damage or whatever, you know, saving 150, that is like 2 Evil Eyes worth of damage, like just by hitting that attack checkpoint, you know. So it's...
So from what I see, basically the trade is between we can take this route and kill 2 Wraithwings and have to open the door, versus having to kill an Evil Eye, 2 Wraithwings and 2 spiders, but get 1, 2, 3 attack gems, so for a total of 6 attack.
Yeah. Well, those 2 attack, you went the route. Sorry, my screen. I don't know if that's messed up my microphone. If you took that bottom route, you do have the Wraithwings, but you can still collect some of those attack gems.
Right.
So you can get that attack gem, and if you go north, it's 2 Wraithwings for 4 more attack. You know, that will push you over the... I think it gets you the Mud Baby one as well, actually.
Right, the Mud Baby was... I can press the keys, really stop for attack,
You know, so you do actually hit that attack checkpoint, and given that you do need to open either that south door or the north one, for a long time when I was trying to optimize this score point, I was going south and collecting those gems. But in the end, you can actually, there is just so much attack here that you can get an extra 6 by going up that force arrow, and you know, that's quite a lot of attack for making a tiny detour.
There's also this attack gem.
And in the end, even though that requires me to kill 2 spiders and an Evil Eye more, it was still worth it, just because it throws attack at you here. Like, you get so much of it in such a short space of time.
Right, okay, that makes sense.
So yeah, it's a particular combination of hard-hitting enemies. You need to kill a lot of them, and there's an awful lot of attack going down one path that makes the difference.
So what we want to do is actually go through here. And pick up the... Oh, but there's one problem here, is that there's a yellow door.
That is true. It may or may not be a problem. We will see.
That's true.
Remember, you can always go and pick one up for 10 HP.
Yes.
If it's a problem, because that roach down there also gets you a yellow key.
Oh, that's true, right. So we have, what, 3 keys available?
There are 3 keys hiding behind roaches here, so a single roach. And also there is the Wraith Wing all the way back in Rule 1. So you've got quite a lot of cheap keys available to you.
So by taking that attack gem, the spider is only hitting us 3 times, so we will be saving some HP in the future. So with that being said, I'm just going to get myself into here, make a save.
I always make a save here,
Yeah, and we made some nice progress, and actually things are starting to make sense.
Excellent, that's good.
It's pretty difficult to wrap my head around those things.
Well, you know, to make the most optimal decisions, you do have to play ahead and plan ahead.
Yes.
If I was just doing an initial scouting run, my general rule would be just grab all of the stats, like, you know, if I can, and then sort of see how it works out. And this first half of Tendry Tale is flexible enough that that's usually okay, unless you make some serious, ridiculous like HP loss with the hot tiles down in Rule 6 or the beams in Rule 7. That's really where the run's going to die, or you run out of keys. Basically, those are the places where you're really going to get killed in the first half of Tendry's Tale.
I see.
But that's far ahead. So.
That's what you say, but I remember getting really stuck on the Rule 4 with the goblins. You know.
Well, that could also be a case that you got to kill that rock golem to get a blue key, but if you've got this spare blue key, you can ignore him completely for a while, because he can hit you quite a lot. You know, he can hit you for like 600 HP if he's hitting you like 10 times, or he can hit you once for 60. You know, big difference actually there.
Right.
Yeah.
All right then.
Anyway, enough jumping ahead.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for your help and assistance and being in the recording, and I hope we'll be able to get back together again and play some more, because I'm enjoying this a lot.
Yeah, so am I. This is great. So thank you for having me. Yeah.
Thank you for watching, and bye bye.
Bye bye.